trilogy was, of course, the X-Men spin-off series. Now, after the release of X-Men Last Stand, 20th Fox decided trying to make an X-Men 4. In the meantime, decided to make a series of X-Men as a spin-off prequel centered on the origins of different X-Men characters. The first film of that was X-Men Origins Wolverine. And the idea of a Wolverine spin-off prequel was actually first conceived during the production of X2. And when Bruce Trudeau suggested that idea of making a film about explaining Wolverine's mysterious past. Now, 1 year after the release of the first X-Men movie, Marvel Comics published a comic book miniseries titled Wolverine Origins. And for the first time ever, actually revealed Wolverine's full origin. Now, prior to that, Wolverine's origin was a highly disputed one. Now, Marvel had different kind of backstory. Now, Len Wein, the original creator of Wolverine, actually revealed in an interview that the character's backstory was actually quite disputed for several years. One of his original ideas for the character's backstory was that he was actually just a normal man who had surgery after a freak accident. So he actually initially wasn't actually supposed to be a mutant at all. He was actually originally supposed to just be a normal guy who just had surgery, had metal implanted skeleton, but that idea was ditched. Initially, the character Sabretooth was for a long time was actually feared to be Wolverine's father, and was actually meant to be Wolverine's dad initially. However, Marvel rejected the idea as they thought readers would find the idea way too confusing, and felt that eventually the character at one point would ultimately work on to be Wolverine's half brother. Well, it's often disputed. Now in the comics, their relationship is kind of disputed, whether or not they were actually brothers. Now, some comics actually mentioned that they were half brothers, while some other comics mentioned that Wolverine had a different brother named Dog Logan, and that Sabretooth was just. Now, some comics actually claim that. Okay. Now, some comics even claim that Sabretooth was a long lost half brother of Wolverine's that was born from a different father. Now, X-Men Origins Wolverine eventually went into production. It was originally going to be just called Wolverine, but it was eventually just named X-Men Origins Wolverine. It was eventually released in 2009. It was met with largely negative reviews and is considered by many to be not only one of the worst entries in the X-Men franchise, but one of the worst superhero movies in general. And it also didn't make as much money at the box office as 20th Fox hoped. So when it came for the second Wolverine solo movie, they decided do a do-over, making the Wolverine, with the film being a much darker, much more grittier film than X-Men Origins Wolverine, to kind of accommodate the fans, kind of give them a more true Wolverine solo experience. However, that film is kind of still plagued by kind of studio, kind of intervention behind the scenes. And eventually, after Wolverine came out, James Mangold decided to make a third Wolverine solo movie, that being Logan, an adaptation of the Old Man Logan comic, albeit a rather loose adaptation. As everyone knows, the Old Man Logan comic takes place in a world where all Marvel superheroes are dead. But since Fox only had the rights to use X-Men related characters, it was just focused to be specific to X-Men. And it was also now Logan arrived in 2017 to huge critical and commercial acclaim, and it's considered by many to be not only one of the best films in the X-Men franchise, but one of the best superhero movies in general, and especially coming out of the 2010s. And yeah.